Today I bring you a somewhat unique theme. The title is 7 Things I Dislike About Japanese People. I will be taking a bit of a critical look at some personality and cultural traits that Japanese people tend to have. But of course, not all of these apply to all Japanese, so please enjoy this as a bit of an observation. So let's get started and take a look. Welcome to What the Japan. This channel introduces a variety of information on Japanese culture, history, tourism, etc. If you want to know more about Japan, please subscribe to our channel. Japanese people are very sensitive about following rules. For example, there are many detailed rules such as you must be quiet on the train, you must stand in line, and there are strictly defined places to throw garbage. This in itself is great, but sometimes this sense of I have to follow the rules is so strong that it can feel a little suffocating. For example, even when we want a little freedom, we sometimes feel bound by the rules. Even when there's no sign of a car at all, I will not cross the street because it is a red light. These things also seem to surprise foreigners. In Japanese society, it is important to maintain order, which may be why our culture is so important. But sometimes there are moments when you think, let's have a little more freedom. It is said that many Japanese are not good at speaking English. Although opportunities to learn English are increasing, the reality is that many people have a hard time actually speaking English. When they travel abroad or talk with foreigners, they inevitably get stuck on words. This, I'm not good at English, is partly due to problems with schooling, but it is also due to a lack of confidence, especially in conversational situations. Of course, one can live without speaking English and have little trouble within Japan. However, as international exchanges increase, if we can use English more actively, we may be able to connect with the world more easily. In Japan, the culture of using honne and tatemae interchangeably is deeply rooted. Honne refers to one's true feelings, and tatemae refers to outward words and actions, which can be used interchangeably. However, sometimes it is difficult to tell which one is being said, and this can be very difficult, especially for foreigners. For example, if you ask someone to do something and they say, I will consider it, it is difficult to know whether they are really considering it or refusing. These subtle differences can easily cause confusion for foreigners who come to Japan for the first time. Of course, we understand that there is a deeper meaning in this culture and that it is used to show consideration for others, but sometimes the ambiguity can lead to misunderstandings. Some people may think that 4.2 perfectionistic. Japanese people tend to seek perfection in everything. Especially at work or school, they are detail-oriented and put a lot of time and effort into avoiding mistakes. This is a good aspect, but on the other hand, they sometimes feel pressure to be perfect, or else they will not be forgiven. An easy example is train time. Japan's train time management is the best in the world. However, there are many Japanese who become instantly frustrated if there is a delay of just a few minutes. When this perfectionism becomes excessive, it is easy to feel stressed and tired. And before starting something, we may become anxious about what to do if we fail. It is important to seek perfection, but sometimes there are moments when it is important to feel that it is okay if things are not perfect. Japanese people tend to be overly concerned about others. Especially in public, we often act with concern for what others think of us. For example, many people are concerned about how they are seen by others in everything they wear, say, and do. While this culture can be said to be necessary for maintaining group harmony, it can sometimes suppress one's true feelings and limit self-expression. They are also overly concerned about what others say and do. Cooperation is considered too important, and there are many people who ridicule or speak ill of those who are doing something different or challenging. In fact, social networking sites in Japan are filled with envy and backbiting. It is a bit painful to be so concerned about others that you can't express your true self. Japanese people seem to be calm, but in fact, they are very proud. They are often concerned about others and compare themselves to those around them. Of course, it is good if one has a high sense of pride and self-esteem at the same time. However, there is a gap between one's pride and one's true self, and many people have low self-esteem. In fact, Japan has the highest suicide rate among developed countries. Pride is necessary to succeed in anything. However, pride to the extent that it crushes you is not necessary. Japanese people value distance very highly. It is common for people to keep their distance, especially when meeting for the first time or in business situations. And honorifics are essential with superiors. They also have a distant sense of distance with people close to them. Even among friends, it is rare to casually hug or hold hands. Such distance may seem a little cold at first, but it is actually a sign of respect for the other person. However, when the distance is too great, the distance between the heart and mind can also feel distant, and it can be difficult to step in even if you want to get closer. Perhaps it is a uniquely Japanese culture, but sometimes I think it is important to have a more relaxed relationship as well. So, this time I have shared with you 7 things I dislike about Japanese people. Of course, these do not apply to all Japanese people, and there are many positive aspects as well. But by being a little more aware of these points, I think we can move in a better direction. How did you all feel? Let's keep digging deeper into Japanese culture. In this channel, we will introduce various information about Japanese culture, history, sightseeing, etc. If you want to know more about Japan, please subscribe to our channel. If there's anything you would like to know about Japan, please feel free to leave a comment. See you on the next What the Japan.